G'day everybody, Matt Walsh from ESPN, joined as I am every Monday by Rohan Connolly. Rohan, the Blues, another loss on the weekend. They have now slipped to 11th on the ladder, 4 wins on the season, 3 of those coming in the first 4 weeks. Things looking a bit grim down at Prince's Park.
They're not looking great. I've got to say though, Matt, and apologies, I know your sympathies are in this direction, but I'm a bit of a Carlton sceptic. I've always thought they were an okay side, but I don't think that this is a side that is drastically underperforming. I didn't pick them in my top 8 for this season, and I felt even last year that where they finished was about where they deserved to finish. I think an interesting stat in this regard is to have a look at their record against the top teams. Now, obviously, this year it's not great. They're only 1 win from 6 games against top 8 sides. But even last year, when, as you'll remember, they were 8-2 midway through the season, for the entirety of 2022, they had 11 games against teams that finished in the top 8. They only won 4 of them. Now, if you're an aspiring top 4 side, your record against your top 4 peers simply has to be better than that. Why were they good enough to be 8-2 last year, you'd ask? Well, I had a bit of a theory on this. I'm not sure that the competition was going as well at the start of last year as it became subsequently, and even again this year. I mean, you remember, I think Melbourne won the first 10 games last year, and we're talking about them not even playing that great a footy. Geelong, who of course were so dominant by the end of the season, they were only 5-4 last year after 9 games. So perhaps Carlton was able to do that when the standard of the comp overall wasn't as good as it became later in that year, or indeed as it is this year, because I think the bar so far this year has been set pretty high. Now, Carlton, to me, they've got a lot of cream on the top. We know the stars, Curnow, Mackay, Cripps, Walsh, etc. But I don't think the bottom few players on that list are up to the same standard of their rivals at other clubs. And Collingwood, who they lost to yesterday, is a very good example of that. So, it's not much comfort, but I don't think this is a side that is really underperforming. I think the Blues are about where they probably should be.
Yeah, a bit of a bang average side, need a bit of soul searching because another season is starting to slip away. If you want to hear more from Rohan, you can hear him on the Footyology podcast every Wednesday with Rodney Eade. You can hear me, Jake Michaels, and champion others Christian Jolly on the ESPN Footy podcast every Tuesday.